is no longer the top dog. That's right. The news is clear. El Mencho is not what he used to be. There's a new player in town, and he's taking over El Mencho's territories. So, who's stepping up to fill his shoes? And what does this mean for the CJNG?
Este es José de Jesús Méndez Vargas, mejor conocido como el Chango Méndez, fundador del temido grupo La Familia Michoacana.
El Mencho has been the face of the CJNG, a name that strikes fear far and wide. But now, his right-hand man is rising to power. At the same time, the Familia Michoacana is becoming a bigger threat, grabbing territories and shaking things up. In this video, we're going to break down the power shift within the CJNG and look at how they're losing ground. So, stick around, because we've got all the juicy details coming up. So, who is El Mencho? Born as Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, El Mencho's journey from a small-town boy to one of the most feared cartel leaders in Mexico is nothing short of a blockbuster movie. He grew up in a small village in Michoacán, a state known for its lush landscapes and, unfortunately, its deep-rooted ties to the drug trade. As a young man, El Mencho didn't have many opportunities. He started off with small-time crimes, like many young men in his area, getting involved in local drug trafficking. But El Mencho wasn't just any street-level hustler. He had ambition and a sharp mind. He wanted more than just to survive. He wanted to rule. His first big break came when he joined the Milenio cartel. This group was well known in the drug world, and El Mencho quickly rose through the ranks. His intelligence and ruthless efficiency didn't go unnoticed. He proved himself to be not just a muscle man, but a strategic thinker. His ability to plan and execute complex operations made him invaluable. However, things took a dramatic turn in 2010. The Mexican government was cracking down on cartels, and many were falling apart. The Milenio cartel was one of them. But instead of letting this setback break him, El Mencho saw it as an opportunity. He decided to form his own cartel, and that's how the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or CJNG, was born. The CJNG started as a small group, but El Mencho's leadership quickly transformed it into a powerful force. Unlike other cartels that often relied on brute force alone, El Mencho combined violence with business acumen. He understood the importance of controlling both supply and demand, and he knew that spreading his influence far and wide was key to his success. One of his smartest moves was to build alliances with smaller, local gangs. This network helped him expand CJNG's reach rapidly. But El Mencho wasn't just about making friends. He was ruthless when needed. He eliminated rivals with brutal efficiency, sending a clear message: mess with CJNG and you'll pay the price. At its peak, CJNG controlled vast territories across Mexico. They had a significant presence in key states like Jalisco, Michoacán, and Veracruz. These regions are crucial for drug trafficking because they provide access to both the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, making it easier to transport drugs internationally. But CJNG wasn't just about geography, it was also about diversification. Under El Mencho's leadership, the cartel got involved in various illegal activities. Sure, drug trafficking was their main business, with cocaine, methamphetamine, and heroin being their top products. But they also branched out into other areas like extortion, kidnapping, and even oil theft. Yes, you heard that right. Stealing fuel from pipelines became one of their significant revenue streams. El Mencho's business model was simple: diversify and control. By not relying solely on drug trafficking, CJNG managed to build a robust and versatile criminal empire. This diversification helped them to weather many storms that would have sunk less adaptive organizations. But, of course, with great power comes great conflict. CJNG's rapid rise didn't go unnoticed, and it put them on a collision course with other powerful cartels. One of their most significant rivals has been the Sinaloa cartel, once led by the infamous Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. These two titans clashed over territories and influence, leading to some of the bloodiest battles in Mexico's ongoing drug war. Then, there's the ongoing rivalry with the Los Zetas cartel, known for their brutal tactics. The fights between CJNG and Los Zetas have been particularly vicious, with both sides trying to outdo each other in terms of brutality and territorial control. El Mencho's strategy in these conflicts has always been clear and direct: strike hard and fast. He believed in overwhelming force and making examples out of his enemies. This approach not only helped CJNG to expand its territory, but also instilled fear in both rivals and potential challengers. But El Mencho's story isn't just about fighting other cartels. It's also about outmaneuvering the government. The Mexican authorities have been trying to take him down for years. Despite numerous attempts to capture him, El Mencho has managed to stay one step ahead, using everything from bribery to sophisticated counterintelligence. The rise of El Mencho and CJNG is a story of ambition, strategy, and ruthless efficiency. From humble beginnings, El Mencho has built one of the most powerful and feared criminal organizations in the world. But as we'll see, even the mightiest empires can face serious challenges, and CJNG is no exception. See, these cartels are all about power and control. They're like empires with millions of dollars and tons of muscle on the line. So, when the leader weakens, it's like a shark smelling blood in the water. Everyone who's ever wanted a piece of the pie starts circling, ready to pounce. Now, you might be thinking, isn't there a plan, like a will or something? Well, not exactly. These cartels aren't exactly known for following the rules. Sometimes, the leader might have a right-hand man, someone they trust completely. This guy becomes like the heir apparent, the next in line for the crown. But even then, it's not guaranteed. Other powerful figures within the cartel might challenge him saying, "Hey, I'm tougher, I'm smarter, I deserve to be the boss." Remember, these are organizations built on violence and fear. So, when a power struggle erupts, it can get brutal. We're talking kidnappings, assassinations, all-out wars between rival factions within the same cartel. It's a nightmare for anyone caught in the crossfire. That's why this whole El Mencho's health thing is such a big deal. There are whispers that he might be sick or even hiding out. If that's true, it could be the spark that ignites a massive fight for control within the CJNG. Now, we're not saying for sure it will happen, but the possibility is definitely there. That's what makes the world of cartels so unpredictable and, frankly, terrifying. So, what happens when this seemingly unstoppable force meets new threats and internal challenges? Stick around, because the story is about to get even more intense.
Somos de la familia michoacana.
La familia michoacana nace como una especie de autodefensas, que con su principio original era defender a las personas en el estado de Michoacán.
Meet El Mencho's right-hand man, the person now at the helm of CJNG after El Mencho's influence began to wane. His name is Alejandro, known for his shrewd tactics and unwavering loyalty. Alejandro's journey into the world of CJNG started years ago, not as a leader, but as a trusted advisor. He worked closely with El Mencho, understanding the intricacies of the cartel's operations from the ground up. Alejandro's background is quite different from El Mencho's. He didn't rise from poverty or street life, but instead joined CJNG through familial connections. His father was a respected member, which gave Alejandro a foot in the door. Over time, he proved his worth, handling critical tasks and earning El Mencho's trust. His role expanded as he demonstrated an astute understanding of CJNG's complex network and operations. Alejandro's ascent within CJNG wasn't just about being in the right place at the right time. His leadership style is marked by a calculated approach, contrasting El Mencho's more aggressive tactics. Alejandro is known for his strategic thinking and ability to forge alliances even in the face of internal dissent. His rise to power symbolizes a shift in CJNG's leadership towards more strategic and diplomatic maneuvers. To solidify his position, Alejandro has taken decisive steps. He began by consolidating support among key factions within CJNG, emphasizing unity and loyalty. The Jalisco New Generation Cartel is known for being aggressive. Led by El Mencho, they use violence, bribery, and alliances to control drug routes across Mexico. CJNG is feared for their brutal tactics to expand their territory and power. Other groups like Los Zetas and the Sinaloa Cartel have their own ways too. Los Zetas use military-style operations to control routes and expand their criminal activities. The Sinaloa Cartel focuses on alliances and staying under the radar compared to CJNG's more open aggression. These different strategies affect how drug trade and violence play out in Mexico. Understanding these differences helps law enforcement and policymakers deal with the challenges posed by these cartels. Each group's tactics shape not only their success, but also the safety and stability of communities across Mexico.
En años recientes ese mecanismo de autodefensas, como era de esperarse, ha venido, digamos, cambiando, y por supuesto que en últimos años pues ha tenido que ver mucho más casos de infiltración que tienen que ver con el mismo grupo siendo utilizado para sobre el piso de otras actividades de índole criminal.
Unlike El Mencho, who ruled with fear, Alejandro focuses on building consensus and ensuring everyone feels valued. This approach has helped him navigate internal power struggles and maintain control over CJNG's extensive operations. One of Alejandro's strengths lies in his ability to build alliances beyond CJNG's traditional borders. He has reached out to other cartels and criminal organizations, forming strategic partnerships that benefit CJNG's interests. These alliances not only strengthen CJNG's operational capabilities, but also serve as a deterrent against potential rivals seeking to exploit internal divisions. Despite Alejandro's strategic acumen, his leadership hasn't been without challenges. Internal resistance and conflicts have tested his authority. Some longtime members, loyal to El Mencho, have been reluctant to fully accept Alejandro's leadership, leading to occasional power struggles and clashes. However, Alejandro's diplomatic approach and steadfast leadership have largely kept CJNG cohesive during this transitional period. In every big organization, even in cartels like CJNG, there are different groups or factions. These factions can be like different teams within a company, each with its own leader, and sometimes their own ideas about how things should be run. Inside CJNG, there are several factions, each led by a powerful figure who has their own following. These leaders often have their own territories and interests, which can sometimes clash with others in the cartel. It's like having multiple captains on one ship, each steering in their own direction. Just like in any competitive environment, there's always the risk of conflict. These factions sometimes clash over territory, control of drug routes, or even personal disputes. These conflicts can lead to betrayals and power struggles within CJNG, weakening their overall strength. It's like a constant battle behind the scenes that can spill out into the open, causing chaos and instability. When a powerful